Hi.
Hi.
I'm talking about primary and secondary identifiers, 7 in particular. And I'm talking with my neighbor. This is Clara. She's a sophomore at Cherry Creek
Hi.
High School. And she is different from me in 2 identifiers. She is a woman, obviously, and she is atheist. I am Catholic, Christian, and just want to talk to her about the advantages and disadvantages of being a woman or stuff like that. So we're going to start it off by saying, what do you think some advantages of being a woman in the American society?
Well, there's definitely more disadvantages than advantages, but some of the advantages are like guys usually offer to pay for you.
Do you think that is sexist in itself? Do you think a guy should have to pay?
I feel like on the first date it's like a gentleman thing, but then after that, once you're like actually like starting to become more serious, it should be like taking turns and like having an equal relationship.
Yeah, so it's not leaning more towards, I guess you'd say, a feminist
No.
perspective where it's women should be almost in control. It should just be even across the
Yeah,
board.
I think that it should. It's about. I think it's about equality. It's not about like one overpowering the other.
All right. And what do you think some of the disadvantages are?
Some of the disadvantages. So there's a lot of double standards for girls. Like a guy can do one thing, but if a girl does it, it's like, oh my god, that's so gross. Oh my god, why does she do that? Okay, I personally don't do this, but I've heard of this. So like, a guy smokes. Like, okay, girl smokes. Ew, that's so gross. No guy's ever gonna go for her.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just stuff like that, and that's frustrating. But
Yeah, especially because you don't get to choose. It's kind of an unearned advantage or disadvantage, so you're kind of born with it, and you can make the best out of it, but it's definitely a lot harder.
yeah, and then also like we're kind of in some ways we're held to like higher standards, especially physically. Like girls have to be like model skinny, like, and either we wear too much makeup or we look ugly without makeup, and there's really like no like.
Kind of a thigh gap. Anyway, do you think that should be, or that guys should try to do that, try to stop objectifying women as much, or do you think that the standard should be, I guess, lowered, or do you think this should just be equal treatment?
I feel like women objectify themselves as well, like, and as well as men do. So I feel like it's a two-way thing. Like, females need to work on like not judging other females and like standing together instead of apart and like being mean. And then guys need to work on, really accepting girls for who they are. Like, we're not perfect. We don't look like the models in the magazines, and you guys need to understand that.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. So now we see your thoughts about being a woman. We're going to transition to religious differences. So as an atheist, you don't, I guess, believe in God. What do you think, how do you think that helps you or hinders you just every day?
So personally, I feel like being an atheist, a lot of people just assume that like I hate God and everything for being an atheist, but that's not true. I'm really open to everything, and I feel like it helps me because I'm really open to just about anything and listening to new ideas and new people, and I'm not judgmental, and I feel like I can meet a lot more people and be a lot more open to new things because I'm atheist.
And you don't really see the side of people. You just think, oh, it's really cool, but you don't like see that as like a way that you identify people as much. Whereas if I'm Christian, I think that somebody's atheist, like, oh, what am I gonna think if they meet my family, things like that.
And I feel like something that hinders you about being atheist is like people, when they meet you, they automatically assume, they're like, oh my god, you're atheist, like you're gonna go to hell, and then like you probably love the devil, and they just kind of assume things, which isn't true at all. I feel like a lot of times atheists are very open people, and they're ready to like learn about your religion, and like they accept and they won't judge you for what your beliefs are.
Yeah, well, it's not as much about like I don't want to believe in God. It's more like I want to see everything. I don't really think that needs to be the biggest part of my life because there's so many other things, like just the world around us, like nature and things like that. You don't really see. You don't have to see that from a spiritual perspective. You could just see that from the realist perspective and just live your life.
And I definitely agree with that. And I feel like being open to things, which a lot of people who are very religious lean toward not being as open. So I feel like it helps.
Yeah, you could be narrow-minded, but I think that's really good. Anything else you want to say?
That's about it.
All right, good to hear from you.
Thank you.